We're going to call regular council meeting to order. Everybody can take a seat. All right, declare a quorum, and we'll have the flag salute by Chief Patty and invocation by Pastor John.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. My name is John Phipps. I'm a pastor at Victory Church. If you mind, bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the day that you've given us. There's so much to be thankful and grateful for. First, we'd like to start by saying thank you to the men and women in this room who make hard decisions on our behalf, and I pray that they're just, they're fair, but more than importantly, they're life-giving decisions. May the decisions that are made here tonight be fruitful for all that are here, what's best for our community, and God, I pray that we just honor you. Making decisions are hard, God, and I pray that whatever decisions are made, they're not done lightly, but they're with a heart that have ears for you, God. We pray all of this in your Son's holy name, and everybody said, Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. All right. Item 2, presentation by Mayor Godwin on, well, actually, we're going to have Officer Vickers. We're very honored to have him and family here. And please, go ahead and come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Officer Jeff Vickers has been a friend of mine for over 40 years. He has been a reserve officer with the city of Warr for 40 years. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of his personal time to helping protect and serve the citizens of Warr. For the past 13 years, he has served part-time as our warrant officer and has collected tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars in past due fines and warrant fees for the court. Jeff couldn't decide when he was a young man what I wanted to be, a policeman or a photographer, so he chose the road to do both. Jeff was a professional photographer for most of his career. He owned his own studio that he and his wife Tammy ran. Very big. Everybody around here knew Vickers Photography. They were the official photographer for the city for years.
Yep.
You see pictures of the city council that used to be hanging up and are hanging up. They're Vickers Photography. So every good thing comes to an end, I guess, and Jeff's decided to hang it up. He and I talked before about kind of going out together, and we're almost going to do that. But you know, we've done a lot together. We've had a lot together. Jeff is only our second reserve ever to get anywhere near 40 years. The previous one being Danny Looper. So I appreciate your time and letting us come together. Let me speak a minute to tell you about Jeff. And of course, none of us that are in this business can get by without our family. And as the mayor pointed out, Jeff's family's here. That is his beautiful bride, Tammy, sitting back there, right there. Daughter Jennifer's right there, and her two boys, Adam and Liam, Liam and Adam is the dad sitting there holding him, and the rest of his family. But again, we just want to thank Jeff, and the city's going to miss him. He's been a tremendous asset, and he's family to me and my family. And there's an item coming up here in a couple of minutes where the council's going to surplus Jeff's badge and sidearm for him to keep as his further appreciation. But then the mayor has something for you, and he's walked up behind me, so I will turn it over to our honorable mayor.
Vickers, we are so thankful and proud of you and very grateful for all of your time and your service and all the, there's your chin, you know, photography, okay, y'all know, okay, you've been there, I've been there several times, I've been here for 13 years, I know. So, just really honored that you've chosen to spend your time here, and us as a council, as a city, we really appreciate all of your hard work. And with that, I want to give you a proclamation. I'll go ahead and read with it. Whereas Jeff Vickers worked as a dispatcher from January 1981 to February 1982, leaving to pursue his passion of being a professional photographer, whereas Jeff returned in 1983 as a reserve officer so he could pursue his passion for service as a police officer, and whereas for the last 40 years, that's how old I am, by the way. Like 83, I was like, man, I wasn't even born then. That was awesome. I know. You're old, it's okay. He has donated hundreds, if not thousands of hours to serving and protecting the citizens of Warr Acres. And whereas Jeff has also served as a part-time warrant officer since 2010 in the collection of thousands of dollars that are on past due fines. Now, therefore, I, the mayor of Warr Acres of Oklahoma, declare Jeff's birthday, July 20th, to be known as Officer Jeff Vickers Day. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
That's okay.
That's all right. Everybody else get in front.
I'm old.
All right. Thank you.
Wait, we need some more pictures.
I know, right? Are you still doing pictures? That's the real question. Nope, he's out. He's done.
You know, I retired, but he sold everything, so someone can't say, hey, have you still got that?
You know, that's why I never learned how to work on cars. Like, you can't ask me. It's not a thing. So I want to say thank you also for, if Mayor Nikki will join me. We were pretty honored here in Warr Acres to do a couple of things. And one of the goals and missions of the city of Warr Acres is to become the cultural capital of Oklahoma, because we have such a diverse community here. And there's been some amazing people that put together some amazing events. We've gotten to celebrate Independence Day for Peru, for El Salvador, for Guatemala, for all those things. We had Miss Guatemala happen, and I'm so honored that we actually got to have, with the generous donations and everything from Francisco Ibarra, correct? I'm working on my Spanish, so for Supermercados Morelos to really help us and be able to allow us to host the very first Miss Mexico Oklahoma here in Oklahoma. And we're so honored that we want to honor those ladies that were a part of that. And first, and also we have Angela, I have it right. I have it written down. Also, Marianne Redwine from SNU. One thing that's really cool is that one reason why I wanted to have Mayor Nikki here is because SNU donated scholarships for our ladies that won and participated. So the very first place got a $20,000 scholarship. And Michelle is here with us, and so happy for you. Congratulations. And the countless hours and time and effort that both Jasmine and Daff put in. So we want to honor you all, and whenever I do call your name, you'll come up, and we'd love to give you these certificates. And first and foremost, we'd like to honor Jasmine.
One of the founders and director, Daff.
Come on up. Come on up. Okay. Hey, thank you. And then this one. And you can go ahead and read off that one because, go ahead.
America.
And our very first winner of Miss Mexico, Oklahoma, Miss Michelle. There you are. And I have to tell you that I got to interview and talk to all of these young ladies, and this girl is probably the hardest working person I've ever met, and I'm pretty busy, okay? But the dedication and just from where you started and where your life is, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you were able to do what you're doing.
I was trying to figure out a way if I could argue.
And we do have certificates as well for everybody else, but they are not here, and I'm really good at names, so I know they're not here. So, thank you, Mayor Lloyd. Appreciate it. a couple more things. We had a couple other things with some proclamations and also volunteers of the year, but they will be here next month, so we're going to wait on those. Next, we want to do the nomination of by Councilwoman Morris of Linda Steele to fill vacant ward seat number 3 of council.
I hereby submit the nomination of Linda Steele to fill the vacant Ward 3 council seat.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Morris,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Tribby,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Douglas.
I'm new to the council, and I didn't know John Nipp very well, but one thing he told me is, you don't always have to say yes, so I'm going to abstain.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
All right, and welcome, Miss Linda. Actually, you got to get sworn in now by Judge Lucas.
Raise your right hand, please. I, Linda Steele,
I, Linda Steele,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Warr,
of the City of Warr,
Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
any
any money
or other valuable things
or other valuable things
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act
of any act
or duty
or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law. I further swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties as Councilman Ward 3,
my duties as Councilwoman of Ward 3,
Public Works Authority Trustee,
Public Works Authority Trustee,
and Economic Development
Authority Trustee,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you can come up there.
Yeah, you can come up here. This is the next.
Did she get one of these? No.
That is just the document.
And now there's 4 guys and 4 girls on the count.
Yeah, I don't know. She got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's getting there.
Awesome.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and go to item 15, so our assistant clerk can go ahead and get out of here. Discussion of possible action to approve a certificate of municipal order to the county treasurer.
Has to be filed with the county clerk every year that shows that I am bonded. They have to have proof, and it has to be approved by the city council. And I got it, I had just sent out the packets with Chief Patty, and I got the email with the certificate, with the paperwork in it. And I was like, I'm not sending it out to everybody, I'll amend it and give it to them at the meeting. Since then, I am more times amendments. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't send it back out and then send it again and then send it again, so.
Make a motion to approve the certificate and municipal order to the county clerk and the county treasurer.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Tribby,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Douglas, Prince, Morris,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved. Thank you very much. I will now be legal.
And we need to keep her around, so thank you from this side too. Consent item, we'll go back to item number 4. It's consent docket. Individual items may be deleted from the consent docket for discussion or action under item 6. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent docket except for item E. I'd like to make that separate.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Truby,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
And with item E, we just want to make sure to approve separately, approval of the surplus of Officer Vickers' badge and his Glock for his retirement. I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Truby,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
All right, we'll go to item 8 real quick before we go to staff reports. Final public hearing and discussion of possible action on a resolution requesting OKC to cut off water to services to several Warr Acres properties for non-payment of sewer fees. Thompson.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second it.
Who made the motion?
Schmidt.
Okay, thank you. Thayer,
Yay.
Truby,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
Yep. Anybody from the public like to speak? Nope. Nobody ever shows up. Should we just close the public hearing?
Motion to close public hearing.
Second it.
It's fast. Scott, yeah.
And Von Thayer, okay. Truby,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Mayor.
No.
Gonna make her stay. She needs to stay.
Motion approved.
Thompson.
I mailed out 11 note or cutoffs, 5 have paid, and then 6 are presented tonight to terminate their water for non-payment.
Have any questions?
I just can't hear.
Sorry, I mailed out 11 cutoff notices, 5 paid, and 6 are in front of you tonight.
Yes.
Or actually, there's 7, but 1 came in and paid today, so there's 6.
Maybe someone needs to shut that door.
We can't because
We
of the
can't.
fire code.
Could you ask them to, Mike,
Hush.
you know, would you mind asking them to keep it down because we can hear them? Thank you, sir. All right, so basically cutting off 6. The 7th one came in and paid, correct? Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to cut off the water service for non-payment of sewer fees for 6 residents.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Myers,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Truby,
Yay.
Steele,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
I receive reports from the staff. Craig, city engineer.
All right. Thanks, Mayor. I really don't have a whole lot to add that's not on the report and/or an item that is coming up later. Just a couple of quick follow-ups. Still waiting on final inspection completion for the sidewalks, and then they'll be, we'll take that item off. It'll be complete. We're waiting on just a few items for them to come in and dress up, to finish some siding and dress up behind the curb. So that ought to be complete soon. The James Caps, I understand, should be on the November letting, so that intersection will go out to bid on the Department of Transportation letting in November for, award and then construction on that. And then obviously an item that we have later today on this evening's docket will be the ACOG application that we have been working.
Great, thank you very much. Public
Can-
Works? Oh,
Can I
sorry,
ask
go
a
ahead.
question?
Yeah, shoot.
And maybe this isn't you, Craig, but over by the animal control, there's this, which was part of the sidewalk project, there's this huge mountain of dirt from where they took all the dirt and dumped it in that park. Is that gonna stick?
And I
or is-
will ask Mike, did you make an agreement to keep that dirt?
Okay.
That is-
We were going to use the dirt around the playground equipment, around the borders to try to slope it out.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to try to repurpose it in low spots.
I just didn't know if that was something to come on the sidewalk project, but now I understand. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that material was remaining from the excavation that happened during the sidewalk, and I think they did
Perfect.
work with Mike to be able to leave that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mike?
Just like to recognize all the employees it takes in the Public Works Department, Pam's group, Veronica, we have Mike Woodard to keep it all departments. Bulky waste continues. Ward 3 is tomorrow, Wednesday, and Ward 4 is the next week by Wednesday.
Okay, thank you. Definitely appreciate all the employees, because, whew, Lord. Patty?
We have started, Friday we posted to start taking applications to fill a position for a police officer in the department, and surprisingly enough, we wound up initially with the first day 23 apps. Now, we haven't gone through them yet, but that's pretty encouraging in today's atmosphere in my business, so we'll see how that pans out. And our two rookies are getting closer and closer. They're going to graduate from the academy on the 10th, and 2 more weeks of training, and they'll be out on the streets to help fill some of the issues we've got on our schedule, so that'll help. And of course, flock continues to be all kinds of fun, so we love our flock.
You know, I was in the police department, they said, this is more like making us go on chases. It's like, it's kind of what it really is, so. Cars keep coming into our town and they go. And also want to make mention that Chief Patty is actually going to be retiring at the end of this year after 40-plus years. And we're going to really celebrate him in December for his last city council meeting. So.
Who's going to be celebrating the most?
Well, you can still come.
Oh, he won't.
He's going to take vacation that day.
Thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely. Mahaffey?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. City Attorney?
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I would note on item number 9, when we get to that item, my recommendation is going to be that someone make a motion to table it to next month's meeting. The commission did not send you a recommendation, so there's no action you can take, but we noticed the public hearing, so if we don't table this, then we're going to have to pay ourselves to renotice a public hearing as opposed to tabling it here.
Not do that.
I will say we had a few council members there. This is another interesting item. Didn't get action because the site plan doesn't begin to get close to meet the parking requirements in the ordinance, but if they can redo the application, there'll be another business that I'm sure will lead to some business. This will be an alcohol-based business that the proposal is to have not just a place for people to purchase and consume the craft beer that the person brews, but also walking trail for consumption of marijuana. So I'm sure it will lead to some lively discussions, but at this point, they're off on parking. I want to say they don't even have close to half of what would be required for.
Yeah, not even.
Is it legal to use marijuana on public places?
So you can't consume marijuana at a licensed medical marijuana dispensary. This would be a separate business, separate location on the same lot. The way that the statute can simplify it by saying if you can, the medical marijuana statutes subject the consumption of marijuana by smoking and vaping to the same rules on what is referred to as the indoor. You would look at the title and think it was just about smoking indoors, but it's actually a broader statute that deals with consumption of tobacco in and outdoors. And so it boils down to if you can smoke a cigarette, you can smoke a joint and or vape.
Just not a dispensary, okay.
Right.
Just not on site on a licensed premises of a marijuana dispensary.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for sure. City Clerk?
Apologies, items 11 and 12. Anytime I know something is coming up on a future meeting, I will go ahead and name and document the agenda and put the date. Those two items I had put as place markers, and whenever I put the agenda together, I neglected to add discussion and possible action on those two items. Former Mayor and Councilman Woolley contacted me today, and he said, I think you need to look at the agenda, because I looked at it online and there's something missing.
Thanks,
So,
Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Pat's always,
So, those two items will be on next month, and I've already corrected the wording, so,
But Barry, we're glad
sorry
to see
about
you.
that.
Glad we got you out anyways.
That's what I went back and explained.
All right, good deal. All right, finishes up item 7. All right, item 9. And that's what you were just discussing, we're needing to,
I would make a recommendation that there be a motion to table to the next regular meeting.
Go for it.
Motion to table to the next regular meeting on item 9.
I'll second that.
you get to do adjournment, okay?
Oh,
All right.
Tribby,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Okay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Prince, Steele,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
Craig, was there anything for planner? Because I don't see Dakota, I know Mark's out of town.
No, they indicated that they did not have any items.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure. Great, all right, thank you. All right, item 10, discussion possible action to authorize the mayor to hire a grant writer, and we have Mr. Keith Weber here. We met with some staff, met with police and fire, and Keith, if you want to come up and introduce yourself and discuss a few things that we talked about.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Council, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. We do this to make sure we catch all the public things we should catch for the record.
Veronica appreciates it.
My name's Keith Weber. I'm the president and CEO of Civicus Group. We're a grant writing firm based in Oklahoma City. I've met several of you previously, either at meetings with city staff or at a previous council meeting. As you guys might remember, we worked with Chief Patty relating to a public safety grant. We're working right now to make sure you guys as a municipality apply for an opioid grant that that the Attorney General's office is letting out. We doing that just because it needed to be done and because I was in conversations with the mayor and I was like, hey, you don't want to miss these opportunities. Unfortunately for the mayor, we've known each other for a long time, and we're friends, and we've been, the short version is I've owned Civicus now for 20 years. We've worked with municipalities in Oklahoma, and in Missouri, I don't know if I can say this in a public meeting. We are on the we are on the awarded list to start working with the city of Albuquerque. It's still in a protest period, so I can't officially say anything, but the document is out for public record or public consumption. We also work with Indian tribes in 7 states, most notably in Oklahoma with the Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs and other state agencies. In total, we've helped clients receive about $60 million worth of grant funding and about $330 million worth of government contracts, mostly working with small businesses doing business with the federal government for a variety of things from construction to cybersecurity, architecture and engineering services, and those kinds of things. I think the thing that's important, or that I would want to say that's important, is that I understand from a municipality standpoint, most of the municipalities we work with are small, most of them are rural, most of them, if they're not rural, have what we would consider special circumstances of shared governance, of shared services, of difficult situations with taxing authorities and all those kinds of things. We're used to that. We understand what those difficulties are and how they impact grant applications, or at least how they could potentially impact grant applications. I understand that it's funny, while the federal government spends money like it's going out of style, municipal governments are it's tough. There are limited resources, and those resources, you guys can't just print money. And so those budget constraints are significant. And I realize that an investment in grant writing services is also significant, no matter what that dollar amount is. And so I think it's important for me to say that our expectation, and any other grant writing firm's expectation, and I shared this with city staff, is that in the first year you would get of any effort, whether it was internal or external, that you would break even in the first year. You'd bring in at least three times the amount of money you were spending in the second year, at least 5 times the amount of money you were spending in the third year, and a mature effort, whether it's internal or external, should by year 5 be bringing in roughly 10 times what you're spending, and unless of course you're spending like $1 million, and then that might be difficult. But there's no reason that a city this size should do that. So those are some of the parameters we look at. From our perspective, grant writing is a holistic approach. So the mayor already mentioned that we've had a couple of just conversations with city staff, but we try to look at both grant research, what's out there and what would work for various and sundry strategic plans for the city, whether those are park plans, actual strategic plans, transportation plans. So we look at finding opportunities, both federal and state, and where appropriate, private foundation opportunities if they're associated with a 501c3 or a vehicle we can use in that regard, like a community foundation. We to the extent that city staff doesn't want to, or we can, will write, and we do write almost every kind of proposal from a municipality standpoint. We do everything. I tell people all the time, if you want a grant to cure cancer, I'm not your guy. We don't do tier 1 research stuff, the stuff that OSU and OU and the Health Sciences Foundation do. We don't do that. I'm not that smart. Everything else associated with and those kinds of things we have a lot of experience in. In your packet, you've got resumes for me or bios for me and our team, or at least I think you do. And so I haven't seen your full packet. So I'm going to answer any questions you have. I know you have a full agenda, and so I don't want to take too much of your time, but I did want to say hello. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to work with staff and the mayor to this point, even though that's been something we've been happy to do just because it needed to be done. Hopefully it will be productive, and we've appreciated the opportunity, and we would certainly be honored by an opportunity to work with you formally.
Anybody have any questions?
I do have a question, please.
Yes, please.
And what you're doing on the grants and that, are there fees that we would pay for the grants, or is in addition to your fee?
No. So our fee would, so let me be clear. The way our contract is structured, you wouldn't unless you engaged somebody, maybe us or somebody outside for grant management services. Our assumption of our contract, was that any of the fees, that the city could handle grant management services internally.
Okay.
And so if that doesn't happen, you can use grant funds to pay for those to a certain degree, so you wouldn't be out any additional money. But our assumption was that from a grant management standpoint, with normal help from us, which is part of our contract, you wouldn't be paying any other fees. Of course, things that you already know, some grants require matching dollars, and so not talking about that and matching dollars, but in terms of other fees, no, it would be the flat fee that you have in your proposal. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Certainly.
Myers?
I just was going to ask you to go over that scale of the first year, second year, one more
Sure.
time for me.
No, certainly. In the first year of any grant writing effort, whether you're doing that internally of yourself and tracking city staff's time to do that, whether that's a person or parts of people, or externally, ideally what you would want to do is you would want to break even. In the second year, you would want to make roughly 3 times, at minimum, roughly 3 times your money, whether that was, in this case, we'll just use the number I gave you, $30,000, so you'd want to bring in 90. In the third year, you want to get to a point where you're bringing in about 5 times what you're spending, and then after year 5, the real goal of a mature grant writing operation, again, unless you're spending just tons of money, is that you're bringing in roughly 10 times what you're spending.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say, since Linda's new and I'm just learning, if we come across a grant, we take it to Roger, and then you decide whether or not to take it to him, the way.
Say it again, I'm sorry, I was
Okay,
talking to Pam.
yeah. Okay, if we come across a grant, like, we came across one when we went to the municipal thing. We give it to you, and then you decide whether or not to take it to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that works.
It seems like that's pretty standard.
I'm also, and I certainly don't want to, I certainly don't want to run afoul of anything like the Open Meetings Act or communication or anything of that nature, nor do I want to circumvent established protocols, but you guys are willing to reach out to me. I mean, you guys are open to reach out to me. If you see one and you're like, I've got Keith's email and you want to send it, then please do. I may have to make sure we don't share information inappropriately. I may have to only send it back to the mayor and have somebody, disseminate information as appropriate. We can talk about how those things work, but you guys would all be encouraged to reach out and say, hey, we saw this, I saw that, what do we do with this? And then you would end up having a monthly written report from me as a part of your packets, and then, or from the firm, it'll be me, and then I will be here in person as often as you guys deem appropriate. I mean, we typically do that in person on a quarterly basis, but if there were lots of things we needed to do and it was appropriate to be here monthly, I'm in Edmond, so I'm 20 minutes away, except at 5:30. 20 minutes away, it's pretty easy, so.
Well, and I'll tell you one of the main reasons, I mean, we've had grant writers in the past, I believe it was Mill, I believe is who it was, and not quite half of you were sitting in budget committee with me, and we know where we're setting on things, so I figured that anything that we can do to be a net zero, or as close to a net zero, and then add on top, is valuable for the city. And that's just one of my responsibilities, to make sure that we're functioning as a city, and this is one of the, in my opinion, so. And also, I want to also make sure that this will go into effect January 1, not in September, is based on what's in the packet.
Sure.
So we start fresh at the beginning of the
and
year.
we hadn't talked about that, so you had a September date in the packet, just because you had a September date in the packet, so January 1's fine by me. And in the meantime, as things come out, like the opioid grant and other things, if we need to do things that are speculative, not speculative, if we need to continue to do uncompensated work, I'm happy to do that. You guys don't need to be missing opportunities, especially as I understand your budget situation in between now and January. I'll also say, as a little bit of self-preservation, most of the things that will come out between now and then, not all, but most of the things that will come out between now and then will be due in January. So
Okay.
we're not talking about doing, 10 things for free. There may be 1 or 2, but most of the things, especially federal, that are coming out in October and November would have January due dates. So
Okay, so
I'm
probably
trying to be
no-
nice, but I'm also just understand, I also know what I'm doing when I say.
So probably November would be, so we'll have a month to, before things kind of get going. So
Well,
November would probably
and
be
frankly, I would prefer that,
Okay.
just from the standpoint of, we've got lots to learn if indeed you choose to do this, not about grant writing, but about the city and the city's needs and strategic planning. We would want to meet with staff in a more coordinated way than we've done previously and look at documents. And there's some there's some understanding and learning curve and buried in paper piece that happens in the first couple of months before grants really start to move, that if you can, we have to do it anyway. If you can get us to do it without paying us, so much the better. And I'm not, again, I'm trying to, again, that's just appropriate and appropriate uses of the city's monies as well.
Apparently our finest, our fire department.
Leave the doors
Yeah,
open.
we have to
The
leave the doors
doors have to
open.
stay open.
Yeah. The fire department decided to show up
Public
for
meeting, you
something.
have to have the
Yeah,
door
we have to have the doors open.
It's okay.
So,
Start this November 1 then, you said?
yeah, if we,
yeah, you can-
November would probably be the best time to start.
You can start it whenever.
Okay.
We're engaged as soon as you say go, even if even if the contract date lags a little bit. That's fine by me.
Okay. Any other questions that we have?
I had one.
Yes, sir.
This grant money, are we looking to fund something above and beyond our normal budget? Is that what the grant money would be for? or is it-
Yes.
And do we have a specific items in mind that we want to fund? Or we just hope that we get the grant money and then we decide what to do with it?
Well, so that's going to be part of the discussions that we all have. Some of the discussions we did have were, whenever it comes to our, I guess it's going to be next month that we do it, so we're going to put together a full parks plan. So we missed out because we did not have a full parks plan, that we applied for a grant, and Keith would be the one to do that. And that was $150,000 that we lost out on. So it's to go above and beyond for CIP stuff, as well as some of the stuff with the fire and police. It helps go for public safety grants and helps cover some costs on some things, correct?
Correct.
So his job or part of his job would be to write the grant and
Submit it.
determine how much money he could get, based on whatever's available.
Whatever the grants are, yeah, so.
Correct. We would work with city staff, with the mayor and others to say, okay, this grant could do, there's this, and this is a bad example, it just happens to be one that's out right now. So, this grant could do, there's a grant for small surface water storage, projects either in parks or as part of bureaus of reclamation. And so we would look at, and that Oklahoma is eligible for because of our drought status. So we would look and say, okay, do we have a project in the city that's on a parks plan, that's on a public works plan somewhere where that would fit? We would look at that budget, if the budget's been done for that project, and say, okay, how much of this budget can we get with grant money, and does that make this project more viable? You can do the same thing with roads and streets and all kinds of things. Not that the chief wants to do this, but you can partially hire officers with it. We've already discussed it. The cops hiring program is very, very difficult in terms of its reporting requirements, and so understand that. But there are things that are both in the regular budget that you could supplement funding for if it was the right thing, or things that are in a capital improvements projects budget that you could essentially, let's call it kickstart money, seed money for a larger capital project. Does that answer your question, Mr. Prince?
Yes, thank you.
I do have.
Thank you.
Do we not find out about these grants, or is it all secret, or isn't this public information that all the departments can find out about the grants?
So I know that we do, CDBG, we do a ton of stuff with SRB, and we pay SRB to do those grants already. So I know that if you guys want to write, that's fine too. Y'all can research.
Well, I guess what I'm looking, if we're paying one company right now to write grants, and then we're gonna pay this gentleman to write a grant, I'm not sure.
We're not paying a company to write grants right now. In the past, we've had Millie.
No, but you said SRB, we pay SRB, they write the grants.
Well, for some stuff, Craig, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
And I can try and help clarify that, because the grants are available through whether it's a federal funding, state funding, possibly even some type of private funding. Currently, what we've written grants for and been somewhat fairly significantly successful on has been the STBG UZA grants through the ACOG, which is the local municipal planning organization. And, I mean, the MacArthur Boulevard, the 50th MacArthur project, the overlay on 50th Street, I mean, all of those have come from certain transportation grants through that MPO. But there are other grant opportunities that could come out from different agencies in which, if you identify that, anybody identify that, it sounds like maybe that's what Keith's role would be, is to be possibly outside of the grants that we currently are applying for, the ARPA grant funds that we've received, for the new sanitary sewer. That's something that we were able to do because that is our discipline, is transportation, water, wastewater, things like that. I think the mayor mentioned, the parks grant. He did mention a parks master plan, which I know that he's talked to us about developing that parks master plan, which is a grant requirement in which would be helpful to write that grant. But there are others. Millie Vance was the person that the mayor was talking about. She wrote a grant for disadvantaged. I believe it was a REAP grant that we were able to receive REAP grant funds for a sewer improvement project. And all of that has certain requirements that need to be gathered in order to apply for that. Maybe that is also each group could help with. But
Would you two organizations be working together at times?
it sounds like that's what Keith had led to, was
Yeah,
not
the
just
city
our
staff.
organization, but staff heads, whether it's the chief of police, fire chief, engineering,
Planning,
other different
public works.
staff would be something that we could work with. I mean, that would be a decision that the mayor and council make on really what direction you ask for those applications to be filled out. So.
We routinely do work with contract engineering firms and others that municipalities use, so we haven't had the pleasure of working with SRV yet, but we would welcome that if you guys thought that was appropriate, so.
So is it correct to say then that you basically deal with construction grants and those kind of items, and he will be working on other kinds of grants, like we're talking about police, fire, parks, other things like that?
I don't know what that division would be, Vice
I'm talking
Mayor,
about
but I'm
basically-
sure that would be a discussion that we have. I mean, we're very familiar with the application process through the MPO for the transportation grants and other grants. We also are very familiar with the, Water Resources Board and the grants that are available through either the DEQ or OWRB or those type of agencies that we have written quite a few grants on. And so, yeah, it would be something possibly outside of that. I know Chief Coy has written grants and has received some grant money as well, but probably have possibly missed some opportunities that we could possibly bring in. Again, this is an item that was on the agenda as I came in, so speaking to that, the mayor and Mark may have had some discussions on this, but I would anticipate that we would still perform those duties in our disciplines.
Absolutely.
Which would be, the transportation, water, wastewater industry, and there could be something that comes up in which, we feel like that, Keith's experience and level of grant writing could benefit as well, so.
I have a question regarding the fees and payment. And again, I'm a little new to this, but, so if I'm reading this correctly, it says, any expenses applicable to the contract will be submitted in writing to the customer, City of Warr Acres, for approval before the service provider incurs any expenses. Says here in this is on page 125, it says here not to exceed 15%. So my question is that if we are applying for a grant of, say, $50,000, 15% of $50,000 is $7,500. So if your company comes across and says that, so we would only net out 42.5 on the grant, is that correct?
That's incorrect.
Okay, thank you. I just want an explanation,
That language was meant to say, if the City of Warr Acres wanted us to go to, and it's a bad example, but we'll say it. The City of Warr Acres wanted us to go to the Oklahoma Municipal League Conference in Godebo, and we were going to incur some, I know they don't have it in Godebo, and we were going to incur some expenses in that regard and wanted to charge those expenses back, we would have to have prior approval to do that. From the standpoint of expenses, the only thing that, actually, I don't know that we've ever charged a municipality expenses outside of the monthly fee that you see in a contract. It's in there as a catch-all in case somebody says, hey, go to blank and front your own cost for it. So we can be like, wait a second, no. Or at least, let's discuss that.
How long is this contract for? Is this annual, an annual contract?
Yes.
Yeah, 1-year contract.
By law, it can only be an annual contract, as I'm sure you know.
Okay, and then my other question for Pam, does this come out of general fund? What does it come out of?
Yeah, it'll come out of general fund.
Can I make a statement, please? No disrespect.
Not at all.
We just went through a budget cut meeting. It cuts a whole boatload of cash from a lot of things that really mean a lot. Fire department, police, city works, everything. I think it's a great idea. We have people are writing grants right now that we're getting some done. Yes, there's a lot of stuff to be done. I just have a very hard time coming and say, let's do another $30,000 when that could have been spent during the budget cut and kept. So that's just,
None taken.
we're coming into a year of very tight money-wise, and I think we need to watch every quarter, not every dollar, but every quarter, at least through 2024.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, to your point, I take your point, and I would hope that your results have shown that in the first year that you usually do break even, that it is a wash.
There's no guarantee on that.
There isn't.
there's no guarantee.
And I'm certainly not saying that. I'll say, I cannot recall a year where that was not, a client where that was not true. Not at least in the last decade or so. So,
Do we have it in the budget for this next year, or would it have to be added and something else taken away?
Well, I mean, when you say, do we have it in the budget? It wasn't something that I added to the budget. I mean, it will come out of other professional services, which is one of the items that I told you we really needed to watch.
Yeah. That we're cutting on. So,
I mean, that's,
How much is
again,
current,
that's
how much
y'all's
is,
call.
how much is currently budgeted for other professional
yeah,
services?
we've cut a lot of it out of next year, like
Mail it-
substantial.
whatever.
So I know that it's getting ready to come up and be a very tight year, and I get and appreciate and respect everybody's opinion on it. I just want to bring this to the table because I know that, and this just comes from me being an entrepreneur, this comes from being in business, that you spend money to make money.
Yeah.
And and you don't get to do that. You can't just sit back and wait for money to come. And that's what I feel like this is spending money to make money. And I know that we're gonna be close, we're gonna be cut, we're gonna be watching the budget really, really close. And we still have a couple more meetings before we do our final cut. So you guys vote your conscience on how you guys wanna look at it. And if we wait for a year, wait for a year. This is a chess game, it's not tic-tac-toe.
I think you meant checkers.
No, I meant tic-tac-toe. It's one of my talks. Most people play
I
tic-tac-toe.
went to the ACOG meeting last week, I guess it
Uh-huh.
was. They talked about how money is becoming tighter and tighter from the federal government. And so, I mean, we've got to fight for it.
Yep. Well, and I know with decisions that we made last month on increasing costs to our citizens, anything that we can get for more wastewater management, things of that sort will help our citizens in not getting additional costs. So that's majority what SRB does for us, and I know that it can't hurt to have additional help. So that's the reason why I wanted to make sure to have Keith come and have this discussion. And we can table if you guys want to for a month, but like I said, you gotta spend money to make money is my opinion.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. I'll make a motion that we approve it, that we hire him.
A second?
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
Prince,
Yay.
Schmidt,
I know I seconded it, but that was just so we could,
that means you get called sick.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say yes, Yay.
Tribby,
There's a bunch of fees in here.
Nay.
Myers,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Nay.
Douglas,
I'm gonna say yay because it's a year.
Steele,
I'm gonna abstain for right now.
Morris,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
If I got everybody right, and I'm gonna repeat this because it's really important right here. We don't normally have such a split decision. I have Morris as nay. Is that correct?
I actually said yay, but I'm
I'm not asking so you have a second chance.
I did say yay.
Yes.
That was what I
Okay,
actually said.
This is why I'm checking, because sometimes it's hard. Steele was abstain. Prince was yay. Douglas, yay. Von Thayer, nay. Myers, yay. Tribby, nay. Schmidt, yay. And the mayor, yay.
Correct.
Motion approved.
Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank
Sometimes
you.
I'm
I know
just
this
not
was a
sure.
difficult decision as
We have
evidenced
high hopes.
by the vote. So, you guys, the mayor knows how to get in touch with me. We'll make sure you're engaged in future conversations immediately, if not sooner. You guys too. Look forward to it. Certainly.
All right. Item 13, possible, discussion, possible action on resolution calling for the 2024 council election. Who all is up and needs to file?
I'm up.
Let's say 2 years.
So we have Myers,
Right.
Schmidt, Douglas,
And both of
Steele,
them were-
and
yes.
Morris.
Yes.
What?
No.
We're still good, right? Because I just got elected in February of this year.
It says one councilman.
Well, it's
Ward
where
one.
we're filling in is the question.
Now I gotta go back and look, because I think it's Ward
Randy
4
ran,
that.
Randy.
Randy ran for a full term.
Yes. Ward 4 is one year, and the other is, Randy would be up this time.
For 1 year or? and I'll
I thought he
for
ran
2
for
years.
the vacant full term, because he
Says-
filled Donnie's seat.
Donnie Ryan's
He
seat.
filled Donnie in 2022, October
Oh, Donnie
2022.
won and then he, yeah.
Then in 23, he had to do the 1 year. Now he's at his normal time.
Okay. For some reason, I had in my head that the seat he filled was up for election for the remaining 1 year, and there was a full 2-year term on them. I don't,
We'll make sure everybody that's supposed to file knows that they need to file.
we should only have 4 seats up though, because John's seat was expiring, and so there's a full year, wasn't it?
Should be, yeah.
One councilman,
He had to
Ward
run
4,
for a 1-year seat last year,
one councilman, 1 year.
which gets him to 2024. Then the 2-year time period starts 2024.
So the seat
So
that,
he's a 2-year,
okay,
but Vicky will be 1 year because she's only fulfilling the term through January or till the next election.
that makes sense.
So,
Who wants to run for
So I would have
election?
to run again in another year.
You will be up for a 1 year,
Uh-huh.
and then in 2025, you will be up for a
Okay,
2-year term.
okay.
So-
The actual 2 years.
so both
It
Ward
gets
4.
confusing when you get
Whenever you're
appointed for a
filling in.
1-year term
Yeah.
to fulfill,
Right.
because then it's up for the next election.
Both in Ward 4, right?
Yeah, because Ward 4 got filled in.
Up for election.
And you will be
this
up for
year.
election
And
because
Judy.
John would have been up for election. So-
And then Steele. Correct.
I'd forgotten that she got appointed, and that is what was throwing me.
Yeah.
Okay, so absolute clarification, both Ward 4, Steele's seat, Schmidt, and Myers.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, because that guy got it by 1. Booyah. It was his own vote.
I guess nobody wants to approve the
Anybody wants to
resolution.
No, I was just gonna say, are you looking
No.
for a motion?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for a resolution calling for the 2024 council election.
I'll second that.
Myers,
Yay?
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Tribby,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Schmidt,
No.
Steele,
Yay.
Morris,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
All right, item 14, discussion of possible action. Good luck, everybody. Discussion of possible action on the resolution requesting ACOG funding and approving the expenditure for city portion 20% for the Northwest 63rd intersection improvements, safety, and amenities for the STBGUZA grant application.
So as a good follow-up to our previous conversation about grants and successful applications and what that does for the city, this grant, or this application is through the ACOG, Association of Central Oklahoma Governments, which is the municipal planning organization for the metropolitan area of Oklahoma City. This year, that fund, they receive federal funds in which they then put out in this application manner to where cities can apply based off of an application for need and for want, I say, for improvements to their city. And it's all related to transportation. Surface Transportation Grant, that's STBG, okay? And so this intersection was constructed in 2004. It had ADA compliance, it had upgrade signals. It was actually part of the first widening of MacArthur that happened from 63rd Street South, just north of 63rd Street South to just north of 50th Street. You probably, if you've lived here long enough, you probably remember that construction. It was significant with some elevation changes and widening. Since that time, we've improved 50th Street. The city of Warr Acres has improved 50th Street to a certain I guess, design standard, and I'm going to call it the Warr Acres design with the antique power poles and lighting fixtures with some crosswalks, some amenities that go along with that. That was continued at 42nd, 36th Street. This application is to improve the safety aspect of 63rd Street because it'll be an upgrade to the traffic signals. It will also be an upgrade to the outdated ADA compliant ramps and sidewalks within that intersection so that those safety features will be improved. They have been outdated since the construction of this. The 2010 ADA compliance documents are now the standard. It will also include some of the amenities in which you see in the new intersections, and the mayor had asked us to look at an opportunity to file application this year. Just as a note, this year's funding is doubled because the federal government, I heard that in ACOG they're saying that the federal money is getting tighter. Well, actually this year it's doubled. Where normally they have about 22 million to spend, they have 44 million to spend. And so it's a good year in which you can make application for a similar project like this. And it is an 80-20 cost split. And so in other words, the federal dollars for this intersection would be 80%. And then the local expenditure would be 20%, and that's represented in this. There should be if there's not an estimate there with the packet, the approximate cost of this intersection would be about 1.3 million. It won't be a complete reconstruction. It will be just as it was mentioned, the safety features, which will include the new design of the mast poles and arms, lighting, fixtures, as well as sidewalk ADA compliance that'll go along with the completed sidewalk project. And so that's what this item is for. And I'll be glad to answer any other questions.
Yeah, it's page 130 in the packet.
So saying the Warr Acres portion of this will be 20%, that's $260,000?
That is correct, yes, ma'am.
When we had that budget meeting, is that in the budget?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's not one of the
And
items we had to
CIP.
look at.
CIP.
Okay.
Yeah, briefly, and I don't, Mayor and Pam understand this, Mayor Mickley, the previous mayor, had actually asked us to look at the possibility of widening MacArthur all the way to Northwest Expressway, which would be a 5-lane road, consistent with what is currently that thoroughfare. MacArthur is your principal arterial that passes through, and obviously accesses Oklahoma City on the south, Oklahoma City on the north, and it's kind of, encouraging people to come through Warr Acres, because we're very fortunate to be in the location we are because of the amount of traffic. I know that sounds bad. A lot of people don't like the amount of traffic, but that's part of your application, is ADA, accidents along the corridor, different features in which we've been very successful in getting money for the widening. Mayor Godwin actually didn't feel like that was necessary, and we do have money now for a sidewalk that ties 63rd Street to 50th Street. That was gained in last year's ODOT TAP funding, and so that is a project that's coming up in that corridor. So that would have been twice what this intersection would be if we did that, and so I think maybe you had put some money back thinking that would be an application that would go, and so this is actually, I think, a little bit less money than may have been put back for that project.
Pam, is our portion from the restricted sales tax, how we're funding our match, or in that?
Say that again?
Our portion, is it going to come, we have a restricted piece of the sales tax that's for capital, right?
Yeah, $0.50.
And is that coming?
Goes to CIP.
And so for our newer council members, your primary revenue stream for any city is going to be sales tax. You've got a 4-cent sales tax, but that doesn't mean that everything it generates can just be spent on anything. When the voters approved some of the sales tax increases, part of the approval was for, and it's at 0.5 cent.
Economic development, and then
You've got a 0.5 cent of that 4 cents that's legally restricted. You can only spend it on capital. And so you'll see this sometimes when cities get into really bad budget crunches where they've got a pot of money sitting aside that they would love to use to pay for employees or something else, but they legally can't because it's restricted. They can only spend it for a particular purpose. So you are bringing in money. Being fiscally conservative is kind of important right now with what's going on. There's a 0.5 cent of sales tax coming in that you can only spend for capital. And so you couldn't reappropriate it for any other purpose. So that's.
Believe me, we're trying to spend it all.
yeah,
I'm not joking.
yeah, we are. So, remembers that fund and we got CIP for the capital improvements, so they can't mingle, they're just separate. So general funds takes
You
care
can
of the
take
city.
general fund and move it to
And move
CIP,
it.
but you cannot
Don't do that.
take CIP. It is designated by a vote of the people that money has to be used for capital improvement. You also have a 0.5 cent that is designated, voted on by the people, that says you have to use it for public safety.
Right. And also so we're also applying for grants and other things as well, because there's a large part of that intersection that's safety that is 100% covered by ODOT and other things.
And let me clarify that, Mayor, because if it was a strictly safety project, then yes, it would be 100% funded. Because there's other pavement reconstruction, sidewalks, things like that, we feel like this one will fall under the intersection modification classification, which will be 80/20. Okay. And so if all the improvements were strictly for safety, there would be a consideration for that. This one actually is in the intersection modification category.
Thank you.
Would Mr. Weber be the one help writing the grant, or?
No, this is already done by SRB.
Okay. No, SRB, okay.
The number you gave me the other day for this, did that include the engineering fees? Because I've had a discussion with the fact that all fees that we pay you guys need to be included in any project, so it's all lumped together.
Okay, that gets somewhat, it's not complicated now, but previously, because of some restrictions of funds, the ACOG had voted not to include engineering fees in these type of projects. But because of some of the communities having difficulty to pay for that, starting this year and on this particular grant, engineering fees are eligible for the 80/20. And the cities always have that option, whether to pay for the engineering 100% themselves and they can put a project on the shelf, which readiness is a application point. But on this one, because of the availability of engineering to be included, we did include engineering in that. That means you have to go through a process that's established by ODOT to where you identify 3 to 4 engineering firms that have to go through their interview process in order to select a firm. And so with engineering being included in that, that's a process that'll have to be gone through if you're awarded the grant. And again, this is an application. Resolution is part of that application. It doesn't guarantee, that you're going to be successful in that rating system. Again, successful because of the city and, the way that those grants are written. We've been very fortunate that we've been awarded most of the ones that we've applied for. We've only missed one, and then we got it on the next round. So.
Yeah. SRB's been killing it for a
And
long time.
when would we know we were approved or not?
Okay, so the process was that we had to turn in a pre-application to ensure that this would fit in the category, and so we received that approval for the pre-application. So now the application is due at the end of this month. On October 31st. It'll then go into ACOG for their planners to score all the jobs and go in the pool. And in February is when they normally, and I say February, it may be March because of the doubling of the size of the projects this year or the amount available. But they usually come out in February with whether that it's awarded or not.
No.
Okay. Any other questions? Look for a motion.
Linda, you want to try this?
Steele, you want to try that, making a motion?
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Say I
item 14.
move to,
I move to make a motion to approve the resolution for item 14 on the agenda.
Strong.
Boom.
That work?
That was
second it.
strong.
Thank you.
As long as the attorney says yes, we're good.
I was looking at the head nod from the attorney the whole time as I tried.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, they're gonna keep egging you on until they get you to make motions and seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna make me
We want to
confident
share,
in it.
right? Everybody gets.
But she's jumping in.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Room for a second?
Yes.
I
second
seconded
that.
it, but nobody heard me.
Oh, Morris.
Okay.
I was supporting my
Yes.
new board week.
I'm going to take Morris
She's
as
coaching.
seconder.
Thank you.
Coaching.
I was looking
Coaching
at you. I
over
was like,
there.
what am I saying?
Steele.
Yes.
Morris,
Yay.
Prince,
Yay.
Douglas,
Yay.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Myers,
Yay.
Tribby,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
It is. It's
All
too
right.
scary.
Questions and comments from the council, and we will start with Von Thayer.
Well, as always, I want to thank Fire and Chief, Police Chief. You guys just are awesome. City of Warr Acres, Public Works, all the employees. Y'all just you make this city work. You make kind of our job easy
Yes.
and makes Warr Acres a wonderful place to live. And I thank you for that.
Prince.
Yeah, just thank the city employees for all the good work that they do, especially the street crew that repaired our streets this past week.
Yep.
Last week. They really did a good job. I'm really proud of our street workers and the job that they did. So I know that all the residents on 43rd and 45th Street are very happy that we no longer have the big, I call them reverse speed bumps that we had in our streets. But they did a great job. Appreciate it.
Yep. Absolutely. Myers.
So, number one, welcome to Ms. Steele, and congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Public Works for fixing the pothole I reported last week during the meeting. Did a great job. Thank you to Pam for all the hard work that you do in keeping us on track, in budget, and all the things you do. Thank you very much. And then some other things we're looking at adding some more additions to our animal control, so we'll have more information coming on that, but the girls are wanting to possibly look at doing vaccinations. We're also looking at possibly bringing in some volunteers and stuff like that. So things that we're gonna work at in our animal control meeting, but be looking for some new updates on that. And thank you as always to all the employees. We appreciate all you do and keeping us safe, keeping us clean, and keeping us fire-free. Thank you.
Douglas?
Welcome, Linda, even though she's got some big shoes to fill. And thanks, police, fire department, and Pam.
Thank you.
Truby?
I'd like to thank Matt and Craig. I mean, obviously, you guys are real thoughtful in what you do and the solutions you present to us. And in absentia, Chief Coy. Is he on vacation or something? Oh, okay. But thank you for, and obviously, more props to the flock system. It's great. I hope it just, takes the bad guys off the street. And congratulations to Councilwoman Steele on your appointment. Again, I asked you earlier if you were crazy. Apparently, you're certifiable. And that's all. And also, I'd like to say, God bless our troops who are currently over there in the Middle East area in any forward positions. I know that the news that we see is somewhat negative, but we have the finest fighting force still that the world has ever known, and that would be a tribute to John Knipp if he was here. So.
That's right. Appreciate that. Morris?
Well, ditto what the ladies said. Welcome,
Thank you.
Co-Councilwoman Steele. I'm really glad to have another person sitting beside me, but I do miss John. Thank you also to the Planning Commission. I love their homework they do for us, even though I'm always thankful for them listening to all the plans. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Schmidt?
I want to thank everybody from the Miss Mexico pageant that stayed for this entire torturous meeting. Everybody give them a hand, man. I also want to thank Jeff Vickers for all his time served.
Oh, yeah.
I also want to congratulate Linda, Councilwoman. That's right, now there's 4 councilwomen now, so. Yes.
It's exciting.
I want to thank the police, fire, city, hall, Pam's whole staff. I want to thank the Mike in the back with code enforcement and ordinances. I want to thank Roger for all that he does for the city. I want to thank Mike for everything he does with Public Works. And that's about it. Thank you.
Awesome. Miss Steele?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you to everybody for such a warm welcome, and especially to Mayor Godwin for, really approaching me with this opportunity. I think public service is something that's so important, something that has been a part of my heart since I was a teenager. Community service in high school, getting awards for that, serving in the military for 12 years, being a mother. So service is just something that's in my heart, and to have this opportunity to sit amongst you guys with such a warm welcome while I get into the weeds of it and figure out how crazy I really am. I'm ambitious. I like to take on hard jobs and difficult topics and have the conversation. So thank you for welcoming me to the table, and thank you to the community, and I hope to meet you all.
Awesome. I'm going to present the last 3 that I have here real quick before I say my stuff. So glad that you ladies were able to make it. So I'm going to call your name. You can come up. I got to make sure which ones are. But we also have our runners up. So it was very fierce. I don't know if y'all got to watch it or not. It's pretty awesome. We'll go with Priska Aguilar. Correct? Yes. All right. And this one is yours. Thank you so much for participating. Really appreciate it. Elizabeth.
manager, patient care manager, yeah.
For pediatric.
Clinics for kids with autism, other disabilities. Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to say just a couple more things. So we had a guest in from Cameroon that was here for about a week, and that was for a sister city project. He came through and met with police, fire here at the city, as well as took him around to a lot of different things to show him what we do here and looking to see what we can do with that relationship in the future. And a couple of things outside, just wanted to absolutely thank the city staff that I have here that makes my life a lot easier and making those hard decisions. You guys don't understand all the phone calls that come in over trash. This stuff they do a very conversation is about the fact that you haven't retired because you just love the city. And it's really an honor that you've gotten to be here with us for so long, and thank you for it.
Thank you, sir.
And really looking forward to. And I thank everybody for all the conversation. A lot of the older council meetings were pretty short, and we've kind of extended ours, and Tribby really likes that. He said so. Because it's important that this is the city's business, and it's not something to be rushed through, and it's conversation. It's a very thoughtful conversation, and I'm very thankful for each one of you that take the time to read the packet and spend the time and the energy and you know, your time to be here. So I really appreciate that. Couple of things with things that are coming down the pipe. The city has been in discussion with a couple of different businesses. We have a new lease signed for up at CVS. There's gonna be a grocery store coming in there. So thank you for that. Patty's really happy about it. And we have a couple other things as well coming in, and we're meeting with some high-level commercial real estate investors and realtors here in town. I've been very diligent with that piece because we have to be entrepreneurs. We have to be very strategic. We have to be very intentional in Oklahoma. We're different than every state in the entire country because we have to make money by spending money. So very happy that that's going really well. And thank you for Vickers for such a long time. I've had a lot of photos done by him, and I'm just really thankful for his service for the city and all that. Peace in the Middle East, extremely important. And I don't know how many of you were devastated by that information and what happened just a bit over a week ago, and prayers for those that are suffering through that. Can't even imagine that situation. So prayers go out to them. Steele, thank you so much for taking the time and being willing to serve. Really appreciate it.
A pleasure.
And there's going to be a lot of things coming up with conversations, with budgets and all that, and we're deep in those conversations already, and we'll continue to be, and we're going to keep the city running the way that we need to. And with that being said, Steele.
You want to talk about this?
No, it'll be for later.
This?
Next month. Yeah.
Yeah, she has to adjourn.
Yeah, you have to adjourn.
We want
Yeah.
her to, yeah.
I move to adjourn tonight's city council meeting.
Like you mean it.
Like a boss.
I second it.
All right.
I'll work on my command voice, okay? I didn't want to scare you on the first meeting.
Steele,
Yes.
Morris,
Yay.
Tribby,
Nay.
Schmidt,
Abstain.
Myers.
Abstained.
Almost not getting out of here, guys.
I really don't want to be here on mine, so somebody's gonna have to vote yes. Von Thayer,
Yes.
Oh.
Douglas,
Yay.
Prince,
Heck,
Mayor,
Yay.
motion approved.
Get us out of here. All right.
It's all fun and games until
Let's say
majority
we
of
It's
still
all
have
fun
two
and
more
games, so we're
meetings.
here. All right. Call special city council meeting for Public Works Authority meeting, October 17th. I call to order, declare a quorum. Item number 2, consent docket. Individual items may be deleted from the consent docket for discussion under action item number 3. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Von Thayer,
Yay.
Schmidt,
Yay.
Myers.
Yay?
Tribby.
Yay.
Douglas.
Yay.
Prince. Steele.
Yay.
Morris.
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
Steele? You should adjourn.
Yeah, there's 3 meetings.
I move to adjourn the Public Works Authority meeting.
I'll second it.
All right.
All she wanted to do was get out of there.
That's all.
I thought it was me.
It was Vicky. It was Douglas.
Steele.
Yay.
Douglas.
Yay.
Prince. Morris.
Yay.
Von Thayer.
Yay.
Schmidt.
Yay.
Truby.
Nay.
Myers.
Yay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion approved.
All people, you want to stay later?
Yes, he does. All right. I call to order the Economic Development Authority meeting, October 17th. I declare a quorum. Item number 2, consent docket. Individual items may be deleted from the consent docket for discussion of possible under action item number 3. Do I have a motion? Y'all just chilling here tonight?
I move to approve the consent docket.
I second.
Yeah, there you go. You said that good. She said second. Good.
Morris.
Yay.
Steele.
Yay.
Prince. Douglas.
Abstain.
Von Thayer.
Yay.
For adjournment.
Myers.
Yay.
Tribby.
Yay.
Schmidt.
Yay.
Mayor.
No.
Motion approved.
All right, item number 4, adjournment. Ms. Steele,
May as well.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
said it more like a boss. I like it. She's, hear it?
Not,
Steele.
I'm not.
I abstain.
I'm not staying.
He did.
Von Thayer.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Douglas.
What are we voting on?
We're voting to
Adjournment.
adjourn.
Yay. Go home and eat dinner.
Tribby.
Nay.
Prince. Morris.
Yay.
Schmidt.
Nay.
Mayor.
Yay.
Motion
Everything that you do.